Welcome to AI Waves Talks, where we dive deep into the world of AI, technology, and innovation through engaging conversation with industry experts. In this episode, we'll explore the evolving role of AI in our lives, work, and relationships, unpacking its impact on creativity, communication, and how it's reshaping industries. And I'm thrilled to welcome Julia Matuszewska, an AI business growth consultant and prompt designer in our AI team at Miquido. With background in linguistics, she brings a unique perspective to prompt engineering, ensuring every interaction with AI is thoughtful and effective. Guided by authenticity and empathy, Julia focuses on understanding how AI can serve people better, championing a balanced approach that blends efficiency with creativity and productive messiness that makes work and life uniquely human. Julia, it's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm excited to dive into this fascinating conversation with you today. So, hello.
Hello, Jerzy. It's a pleasure to be able to talk to you today, and thanks for having me here.
Thanks. So, let's start with your role. As prompt designer and AI business growth consultant in GenAI projects, what does your work look like daily?
That's a great question. So when I'm in my prompt designer role, I spend my time working closely with development teams to solve problems and build better systems. And my background in linguistics and my interest in prompt design, which has been my focus for over 2 years now, it lets me tackle challenges from both the technical and human sides. So I would say a normal day might look like crafting smarter, more efficient prompt architectures and teaching teams the best ways to approach prompt design. And here's one thing. None of that works unless you deeply understand what the client wants, their expectations, their user needs, the way their business works. It all feeds into creating something that's not just functional, but also useful. And then there's my growth consultant hat, which shifts things up a little bit. And then my day becomes all about conversations, like sales calls, market research, and digging into how companies can use GenAI to solve real-world problems. And now you know that I'm an introvert, so you would think that would be tough. But honestly, I love these meetings. Every person I talk to, whether it's a language model provider or a business leader from media, education, or entertainment, brings a fresh perspective. And getting to brainstorm with smart people from all over the world, it's the kind of thing that keeps you inspired.
Yeah.
For example, I might talk with a language model provider to figure out how their product could fit into a project, or chat with an industry leader about their biggest challenges and explore how AI might help. And the goal in every conversation, obviously, is to mix this expertise, this technical expertise, with empathy, coming up with ideas that are both practical and pretty surprising in how much they solve for the client. And last but not least, one of my core responsibilities is to keep our flagship product, the AI Kickstarter framework, evolving to meet market needs. So every insight from those client conversations feeds directly into the framework, making it more relevant. So that's it, I would say.
Yes, that's a very interesting mix of different responsibilities. And a while ago, prompt design was considered one of the most critical skills for the future of work. Do you think this is still true today, or has the role evolved in some way and maybe its relevance is starting to fade?
This is an interesting question, and I think the answer really depends on how you frame prompt design. Because as a skill, prompt design is still essential, especially for navigating AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude. But it's no longer a niche expertise. It's becoming more like knowing how to use Google Docs or Google Sheets. It's a foundational skill for knowledge workers now. And to use AI tools effectively, people don't need to learn about chain of thought prompting or tree of thought prompting. They just need to understand how AI works, including its limitations, how to craft prompts that are at the right level of detail and clarity, and how to spot common pitfalls like hallucination or AI bias. And in this sense, prompt design is evolving into a universal skill. It's practical and necessary, but no longer something that sets you apart. But as a profession, this is where the role is fading. Few organizations today hire for prompt designer as a standalone position. Instead, they look for more hybrid skills like linguistics, user experience, psychology, data science, or software development. For instance, in our team, developers handle prompt design themselves as part of creating AI-powered products. So, of course, they know I'm here to help when needed, but it's no longer like siloed as a separate job. So, to sum up, what's the future? I would say that prompt design will remain a vital skill, but it won't stand alone as a career path. And the professionals who will thrive will be those who integrate prompt design with other fields of expertise. And in the end, it will make them better as managers, as marketers, developers, or salespeople.
Yes, because everyone now can use GenAI. The tools are quite easy to use for everybody. But before this interview, you mentioned some concerns about AI's growing role in creativity, communication, and even human relationships. Can you expand on that worries and what worries you the most?
Yeah, sure. So my biggest concern is the growing obsession with simplification, with automation, and with maximizing efficiency. Sure, these trends bring plenty of benefits. They free us up to focus on strategic, creative, or just plain fun tasks. But they also come with risks. And in this constant push for productivity, we risk sidelining the things that make us deeply human, like creativity, meaningful conversations, and true relationships as well. And these aren't things you can measure with metrics like return on investment, but they are absolutely essential to who we are as humans. And my grandfather, he was a literature professor, he used to remind me of this. He believed that things like having deep conversation, like also writing poetry or reading and reflecting on it, these aren't just hobbies. They're ways of understanding and expressing who we are as people. And his words have always kind of stuck with me. And there is this one of my favorite quotes from That's Poets Society. And I think it captures it perfectly. It goes like this. We don't read and write poetry because it's cute. We read and write poetry because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion. And I really believe that, because passion and creativity are how we figure ourselves out and connect with others on a deeper level. So if we start delegating these experiences to AI in the name of efficiency, we're losing what makes us human.
Do you think as a society we're at risk of outsourcing too much of our thinking and creativity to AI? And what could this mean for us in the long run?
Well, I think it's a tricky question, because it's tricky, especially for someone like me who spends so much time in a tech-heavy bubble where AI is at the center of literally everything. And while AI adoption is growing, especially among knowledge workers and developers, is far from being universal. But even in its current state, the impact is massive, particularly when it comes to generating content at scale. So first, what we risk here is losing linguistic and creative diversity, because AI generates content based on the data it's trained on. So its outputs often feel predictable and similar in style and structure. For example, studies from NYU show that essays written with AI tend to sound alike in both language and form. And over time, the sameness could reduce the richness of languages, especially less common ones, as global English becomes the go-to. And second, there is also content overproduction and information overload risk. Because, AI makes it so easy to produce content quickly. That also means we finally end up with a flood of material that's often shallow or repetitive. And one of my favorite philosophers, Jean Baudrillard, he once said that we are drowning in information, but starving for meaning. And I think that AI is accelerating this trend, making it much harder to focus, to filter, and to figure out what's actually important. And of course, there are more technical risks like model collapse, which is a very interesting phenomenon. So basically, model collapse is when AI systems start relying too much on content made by other AI instead of human. And in this scenario, the quality of these AI outputs will decline over time. And this creates a feedback loop where AI basically loses access to the creativity and diversity that come from human-generated content, the kind that reflects real experiences, cultures, and perspectives. So it's a very real risk as well.
Yeah, and I think also languages other than English can suffer from this because most of the training data is in English. And I already see that much of the content that is produced using, for example, ChatGPT is having some structures that are really common in English, even though the articles or content was created in other language. So I think it's a risk as well. So how do you see the balance between AI helping us and AI potentially diminishing human connection? Can we use AI responsibly without losing what makes us uniquely human?
I want to emphasize that AI has incredible potential, and when used responsibly, it obviously can make a big difference in our lives. So tools like ChatGPT, they can provide fresh perspectives. They can help people process emotions or even just be something to talk to. For those who might not have easy access to support, this can be incredibly helpful. But here's the thing. AI isn't a replacement for real human connection. It can't be your therapist. It can't be your best friend or your partner. So conversations with AI can feel helpful. But at the end of the day, it's just an algorithm designed to generate responses that sound good to you. And there is no person behind those words. And I think that one big risk of leaning too much on AI is that it oversimplifies what makes human relationships so important. Because talking to AI, it's easy. It's predictable. It mirrors your thoughts. It validates your feelings. And it makes you feel seen. But real relationships, yes, they are beautiful. They are important. But sometimes they are also messy. They are unpredictable and sometimes even uncomfortable. But they're also where we grow, where we connect, and where we experience the depth of what it really means to be human. So I think that the best way for individual users to approach AI is by truly understanding how it works, knowing how it works, how it pulls from data and probabilities. It makes it so much easier to use AI as a tool.
Yeah, I think just the thought that in the previous years we've seen that this this thing that people tended to, well, in fear of relationships that are having children, they started to have relationships with pets. Now I see more and more people having relationships with AI, and it's a really interesting thing to observe. It's almost like in the Her movie. So yeah, it is troubling, and yeah. So maybe my next question is that there are many misconceptions and fears of the broader public about AI and specifically generative AI. So, do you think are there any real reasons that you think we should fear AI, or are there any fears that we should take more seriously?
Yes, obviously, and I will proceed to them later, but there's something I would like to start with. Because except of those fears, I have also discussed them earlier today. I think there are many misconceptions about generative AI as well. And actually, there is one common belief that particularly annoys me. And I wanted to say that out loud today. So this misconception is that AI is stupid because it can't handle simple tasks. So people point out its ChatGPT struggles with things like counting R's in strawberry or playing rock, paper, scissors, and use this as a proof that this technology is dumb.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot of times.
Yes, it's very common. And this misses the bigger picture so much because Gen AI isn't built for such calculations or logical games. It is designed to process language. And judging it by those tasks is like complaining that a hammer doesn't work well as a fork. And instead, the real question should be, what can AI do and how can we use it effectively? So focusing on its strengths rather than on its weaknesses, I think it leads to much more useful applications. And another misconception is that AI can be trusted because it hallucinates. And actually, it's true that AI sometimes generates false or nonsensical answers, but that doesn't make it useless as well. Hallucinations happen because the model is built to always give an answer, even when it doesn't have complete context. And in more custom AI applications, this can often be addressed by providing clearer instructions or using verification tools to fact check outputs. And we have actually done this in plenty of our AI projects at Miquido. But speaking of the fears, I guess the one of the biggest fears people have is that AI will take our jobs. And to be fair, this isn't totally unfounded because automation has always replaced certain jobs, just like the machines of the Industrial Revolution did. But as my colleague Łukasz Boruń, our AI solution architect, nicely pointed out recently, that shift also created entirely new industries and roles. And I think the same will happen with AI. The focus shouldn't just be on the jobs AI might replace, but on how to prepare for the new ones it will create. And I think that investing in education and workforce reskilling will be key to adapting. And I've heard that's exactly what IKEA did. They upskilled their workers, replaced by AI, to become interior designers. So there are so many misconceptions about generative AI, and I really wanted to address that because I feel like in my previous answers I have emphasized those risks and threat of Gen AI, but there are plenty of applications of good use cases as well.
Yeah, and I think also Gen AI makes it kind of easier to start a new job and even reskill. So I think it's also useful when you want to reskill and change maybe your job career. Yeah. So also, what I wanted to say is that you mentioned custom solutions, and you've worked with many companies on Gen AI projects. And what patterns do you see in how organizations approach AI, and what point they start looking at custom solutions versus these out of the box tools?
So from what I've seen, companies usually start with off-the-shelf AI tools when they're first exploring this technology. So I'm thinking about things like ChatGPT or AI-enhanced features in well-known products like HubSpot, Grammarly, Jasper. And these tools are nice. They are accessible, they are easy to integrate, and they are really great for experimenting. But as people get more serious about AI, the limitations of these ready-made solutions become clear. And that's when many companies start looking at custom AI solutions tailored to their unique needs. And the first thing they search for in custom solutions is specialized knowledge and context. Because, generic tools can't handle domain-specific challenges well. For example, they may struggle with processing the client data, processing internal knowledge. And in industries like banking, fintech, or healthcare, data security is another major issue. So off-the-shelf tools can't guarantee safe handling of sensitive information. And custom solutions, at least those we provide as Miquido, can be designed with these specific needs in mind. And here comes the second thing, which is better accuracy and control. Organizations want AI that's reliable, that aligns with their policies and values. And generic tools can sometimes generate hallucinations or generate outputs that don't quite fit the brand. Many companies don't realize it's even possible to solve these issues with custom solutions. But our AI Kickstarter framework, for example, it includes features like evaluators, like guardrails, which are built specifically for this purpose. And these tools make the AI more dependable and ensure the content aligns with what the organization needs. And surprisingly, sometimes they search for cost efficiency. Because actually, for larger companies, custom AI can be a smarter financial choice. Building an in-house tool for tasks like text generation or IT ticketing often cost a few tens of thousands of dollars upfront. And after that, ongoing costs are minimal, mostly just token usage. And compare that to subscription tools, which charge dozens of dollars per user per month. Over time, custom solutions can be far more cost effective. And last but not least, there are also those lovely visionary clients, like organizations that see AI as central to their future strategy. And these companies often have ambitious ideas, like using autonomous AI agents or retrieval augmented generation for some certain tasks. And for them, custom solutions provided by frameworks such as a Kickstarter, they offer the flexibility to push boundaries of technology and turn their ideas into reality.
Yeah, really great points, Julia. So finally, my last question. Looking a little bit forward, what would you like to see more about how people and businesses engage with AI, and what steps can we take to ensure that AI supports us rather than replaces us?
Well, AI is a powerful tool, but it's just that. It's a tool. It's not a magician's hat. And if we keep that perspective, we can use AI responsibly. The key here is understanding what AI can do, where it falls short, and how to use it to achieve our goals. And responsible AI starts with awareness. People and businesses need to know how it works, how it generates content, what data it relies on, what are its limitations. And when you stop thinking of AI as a magical solution and see it as a tool, you stay in control. You can use it more effectively to support your goals, whether in business, marketing, or other projects. And actually, for businesses, this often means realizing that the generic AI tools may not meet their specific needs. And that's when it's worth exploring more personalized solutions, like integrating AI into your systems and workflows and using your unique data to power those AI tools. And here I really think that custom AI tools are a game changer because they can work with your existing data and systems. And instead of relying on general knowledge, personalized AI treats your company's information as the single source of truth. So, to sum up, I think that at this point, generative AI works best as a partner, not a replacement for humans. And it's not just about the limitations of current language models. It's more about the value of human perspective and or experiences. I would like to emphasize once more that this whole process of solving problems, of generating ideas, creating content as well, it fosters discovery and growth. And these are things that AI can support, but can't and should not replace. And to make the most of AI, I think that companies need to take a thoughtful approach. So invest in tools that align with your values and goals. Help employees build the critical skills they need to work alongside AI. Because, in the end, AI has immense potential, but its real power lies in how it empowers people, helping us work smarter, innovate faster, but all while keeping the creativity and authenticity that makes us unique.
Yes, really great closing thought. And thank you, Julia. These were like really great insights that will definitely help us navigate through this very interesting moment in time where AI is transforming the world around us at really astonishing pace. Like I don't think we ever in a human history experienced such a moment where things were changing so fast. So yeah, it's a fascinating time to witness and to shape as well. And yes, thank you to all our listeners for joining us today on AI Waves Talks. And if you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on our latest episodes, where we will continue to explore how AI is shaping industries, solving challenges, and creating new opportunities. So until next time, keep questioning, keep innovating, and stay curious. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.